Hi everyone, I welcome you all to our tech podcast series. And yes, we are yet again back with our podcast. And now, obviously, you know me, I'm Chavi, your podcaster of the day, and we would be talking about a lot of stuff. And now, today, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about ChatGPT or are we going to talk about Web3 or just simple blockchain stuff? Your all questions will be answered super soon. But now it's the time to talk that who is our today's guest. We have a very special guest with us. We have Roshan, who is currently the founder of Permissionless, and we would be understanding about a lot of stuff from him today. So with that note, I welcome you, Roshan, to our tech podcast series. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Hi, Chavi. Nice to meet you again.
Great. So, first of all, would love to know how you started your journey, and also when it comes to these things like starting up your own startup, your own venture capital, there are a lot of things which comes up. So, would love to know your journey.
So, I'm Rosh. I'm the founder of Permissionless. Think of Permissionless as a vandalism group on the internet. So, we not only break things, we build as well. We are a deep tech venture studio in India. It's a new concept where you see one product studio building multiple groundbreaking products. We are in the blockchain as well as the AI industry. We have pioneered with some very good technologies inside blockchain and AI as well. That is what a brief introduction is. We are a team of 35 people. I'm not alone. We are building every day. We I have a very core concept while building permission is that our mission is that opportunity should be permissionless, and that is that you could see in all the products that we do. We try to break all the barriers in terms of access towards opportunities in work, or in spirituality, or in terms of accessing AI, or any kind of tech. That's like a core gist of what this is. My personal introduction: I started coding when I was 11. I have been a black hat social engineer until 17. Then some good people told me that you should put your powers into better things. I specialized in micro AI vehicle engineering. From there, I started a startup, got a $1 store, sold it for $3 million when I was 19, and did another startup, failed. Uh, then I became an executive in some of top companies in India, then in the MENA region, and then I came back to India after an incident, and I am the founder of Permissionless now in India.
That was actually nice. That was short, crisp, and it was a roller coaster indeed. And especially, you were, I should call you a young entrepreneur, I would say, because you started your whole journey at such a young age. So, was it difficult for you? What were the challenges that you have faced during all this, all those things? Because I am pretty much sure you were in your school back then. So, was it
No,
easy?
I was in my college when I started coding when I was in my school. Yeah, during this entire my entire black hat phase, I was in school. Nobody knew that I was doing this because I come from Chawls of Mumbai, so
Okay,
like the typical middle class story of like it's a papa, like my dad, like that papa guys pehle paisa hua karta tha, like the father had money then.
got it.
No, it's a typical story, the same story everybody has. Same thing, so we had to shift back to the chawl. So nobody knew that something like this cooking in here. But then eventually people got to know, and then I had to stop everything. But yeah, it was difficult. It is difficult, in India especially. Nobody takes you seriously until you have proven things, right? Especially when you're young, like you have to give like definitive metrics to your parents, definitive metrics to your teachers. That, okay, this is what I've achieved. Now you can take me seriously. So like that, I had to build like small things. I had to buy a house when I was 20 to prove that actually have money. Then I sold it back, but I had to do these things also, like the regular people.
Obviously, like the age when people are talking about how to memorize those chemical reaction names, that time you were actually understanding and memorizing how to work with that money and how to sell and buy the business. So,
So it was by
confused.
purpose. Like it was not by accident. It was how do you say it? I had to do it because घर पे पैसे नहीं थे. Like there was not much money at the house.
Mhm.
I had so okay. This you hear as just titles in this, but
Mhm.
as work, I have built more than 1,000 websites for people until now.
Oh
I've
man.
actually freelance that much to make give money to my parents so that they could live a good life. So that is what I'm very proud of more than anything else.
That's actually nice. I really loved hearing that. And also, like, as you talked about your knowledge and you did some obviously fabulous job in that case of, and you used to be a CTO, right? So what were the things that you used to do? Because, and also when you started your whole tech journey, how you like got this whole knowledge? Like, did you have some mentors to guide on, or it was just self learning?
Oh, actually, I'm very lucky. I don't know how, but I always, in my whenever my phase of life, I've always found mentors for that specific age. So when I was 11, of course the parents did not have money to buy desktop computers at home. So I used to go to, so my mom basically had a book, a Java book. So I used to write the code from there, and I used to go to a cyber cafe and used to run it there into Java applets. That was my very beginning with like coding and stuff. The cyber cafe owner was, he liked me, what I was doing, so he offered me a job in the cyber cafe. That I could like help these people there, and I could code at other times. So from there actually, and since he was directly with the internet, so I directly got access to the internet, and that was crazy after that. So like that every time. So like the previous company where I was CTO, I was leading a team of 250 in game as well as blockchain development. So there, more than that, what I learned was branding. So it's like every that small space of my time, like life, I've got really good mentors. They might not be good in other aspects, but what I wanted to learn, I always picked it up.
That was really great to hear that. Now, would love to move the whole conversation to the technology part. When it comes to technology, first of all, which tech stacks, I would say, or tech domains that you love the most?
Oh, this is a very unpopular opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but I love JavaScript as well, and I
Oh,
see that yeah, compared to what others think, I think that that particular scripting language has a lot of potential, but people ignore it because first things first, it is very easy to learn, and people think that people don't take JavaScript very seriously. Other than that, I personally love Python. This is one of my core expertise. Yeah, and Flutter as well in terms of development of I do I have led a lot of companies which have done mobile development a lot. So Flutter is something. These are the three stacks that I kind of like. Yeah.
that's nice. So, what do you think? Will it gonna be boom in the future as well? These tech stacks, as you talked about JavaScript.
I think Flutter and JavaScript are going to be huge. Like Flutter as is because it is very interoperable. As in, like once you run it, you can run it on your watch OS, your desktop, your phone, your browser. And when Google comes up with Fuchsia OS, so it's going to be another big breakthrough. So I think Flutter has a lot of future. And then JavaScript is here to stay. That's what I'll say.
Got it. Nice. And like I have also seen that your knowledge in blockchain, Web3, AI is something very huge. So right now, I have seen various Indians who come and still are confused with the Web3 conversation. They are in the Web3 ecosystem, but still they don't know what is Web3. So, what's your view on this?
My view on as a Web three as a whole is that we have to understand Web one, Web two first. So
Okay.
Web one was basically that somebody figured out that you could store things on somebody else's computer, and you could
Mhm.
access it via URLs,
Okay.
right? And some smart people thought that, oh, what we could index this, create a search bar, and split out the results. Boom, $1 billion. Okay, we move to Web two now. Somebody figured out that we could do CRUD operation, which is create, read, update, delete on these URLs. So somebody figured out that, oh, we could do crazy things like that. We could connect people. Boom, Facebook was born, $1 billion. Now we're in a position of Web three. So first we have to understand Web three. We understand the theme, that how it works. So theme is that whoever uses the core functionality of that particular technology highest is going to make a lot of money. So in Web 2 it was Amazon and Facebook. Web 1 of course it was Google, Netscape and all these people, Yahoo. Web 2 was this. Now who is this in Web 3 is that people who understand that Web 3 is more like more than decentralization. The concrete business model for Web 3 is immutability of information. That once you put something into Web 3 into the blockchain, you cannot technically you cannot delete it. That's how it works, right? Even if you delete it, even if you're able to hack a node, there are multiple copies of that all available all over the internet. So that is something that I keep promoting to people, that Web3 as a whole, people have misunderstood. It is not decentralization. There are better business models that you can make using blockchain technology, and you should focus there. That is one. Use it for like governance. That's what I keep saying. I keep promoting it to the government as well of India. That you should start implementing a private blockchain at least. We don't want to use like a public blockchain. Use your own countries or use your own cities blockchain to implement various things. It's a crazy technology.
That's actually nice. And also, what's your take on, as we are talking about Web3 and a lot of stuff, right now AI is also at the boom. And who is like who like everyone is just talking about Chat GPT, nothing else. We all want to talk about just one thing. What is happening with Chat GPT? Some people are saying that it's gonna take up the our jobs, and sometimes people are saying that okay, it's not worthy. A lot of things. So what's your take on that?
I'll actually divide this question into two parts. Question one
Hmm.
is that GPT as a whole, it's you have to understand it's a language learning model and it has reached certain heights. So, like I told you before that Noah Harari has quoted this. That is going to be useless class of humans. Now, what will this useless class of humans do? Their job would be to train this AI. So now this question is like fine tune the AI with the information. That's how Chat GPT or GPT-3, which is DaVinci 003 model, was formed. Like there are before that also a lot of LLM models, which is language learning model, existed before. Large language models existed before. The difference in what OpenAI figured out is using humans to fine tune this using RLHF. So now the question is that when you use humans like for stuff like this, now the question is not how AI will replace you. Like I told you before, the question is gone. AI has replaced you in a lot of factors, humans. Now the question is who will AI use to make itself better. So we are in that position now. And second part is that uh, we are yet to get to the levels which we are scared of. There is, to be honest, everything like GPT or everything like that is just one button away. Like you can just shut it down. It's not that scary. One regulatory act like something like even like basic like cryptos, even like 10% of what people are doing to financial sector to crypto, so blockchain as an industry, people do it to AI. It's like literally to stop the progress. So I don't think so. It's time to build actually, especially Indians. The funny part is that Chavi, do you know this? Like most of the students, like we do a lot of hackathons. They know Python very well, most of them. So right now, as India as a country is in a very good position to like capture AI market.
And still people are like that Python is just a very easy language and it's not gonna be worthy.
They're mistaken. In fact, it's because it's a very fun language to be honest. It's like
Like
it's
everyone says that okay, Java is a difficult language, let's work on Java, let's not work on Python. Why?
it's because of developers having this imposter syndrome from day one. It's like when it's like I don't know, most of us have it, and I have some of the top engineers in the country right now. So and we all agree to this that we purposely make things difficult to like just to have that kind of bias that okay we are smarter than others. Technically we are not. I don't think so. It's pure. In fact, with the no code technology that we have, the gap between a designer and a developer is reducing day by day. So there would be one day that people would be just making widgets and like assembling widgets. There wouldn't be a need of like these many developers. In fact, I'm like reducing the number of developers in my company as well, because I personally feel that if I'm not enabling these people with AI and making them more efficient, it makes no sense, right? We are building a company for the 22nd century, and I we do things very differently. So one of the things is that we will have less people employed.
Exactly. Let's move the whole conversation to a different perspective now. Now, when anyone will come to you and will understand about you, this is one thing that why it's permissionless.
Oh, it's actually, I've been saying this quote from 5 years that opportunity should be permissionless because if you look at it, we as humans have gatekept everything. It is very difficult for us to access an opportunity even if we are eligible for it. Lot of things come in between. Who, kiska baap hai, whose father whose which college you come from. Especially in startup, especially in the category like venture capital, like when you want to access venture capital, it's very difficult because they ask you like the kind of questions that they have in their mind is very different than what it should be. So I've been saying this code from the last 5 years because my startup technically was like the second startup. Even though I'd bootstrapped it, I put in my $1 million into it. Even then, there came a position where I had to raise, and because I don't have the kind of pedigree which these people wanted that time, it was difficult for me to raise, and I had to like partner with wrong people, stuff like that. So I've been saying that like when I get the power that I want, I get the money that I have, I'll make sure that opportunities are permissionless. And today, percentage by percentage, we have been doing that very well.
Exactly, that's true. And it's actually great to see the success, and I really love the whole ideology behind it. When it comes to Web3 projects, it's always like, what's happening? We don't know. And we come up with these crazy and amazing names, which is nice. Also, when it comes to you as a young entrepreneur, you might have like seen a lot of things. So, according to your experience till now, what do you think that what's going to be happening after, like in this upcoming 5 years? Will we, as an Indian perspective, I'm asking, will we be able to understand Web3 and accept it, or as we know that in the present time Web3 is declining in India? I'm not talking about the others right now, just India. So what's going to be the market view?
I think that so I'll tell you something very funny. I've been extra early to every technology because since I am like this kind of person. And so I started an e-commerce company when in India there was zero shipping infrastructure. That there was a situation where my one of my person had to literally go to Surat to deliver fidget spinners. So that kind of era we had lived in. And I was early every time. And even Web3 also was very early. But India will realize, the country will realize after 5 years. Like in this 5 years, once everybody has made money, then the people will come in here in India to access the mass market. Then the government will suddenly realize, oh, we should give access to them. So it's a very normal behavior of India as a country. But what's funny is that this time Dubai or like the MENA region is actually attracting a lot of Indian talent. I was in MENA region. I was it's very funny. I got offered jobs from some of the top family offices there to be a part of their team from some of the top companies there. But I chose to flew back to India. But the thing is that that Indian talent will fly to MENA region and it is very close to them as well because Dubai is only 2 hours away, right? That is going to happen a lot. So if India does not take this thing seriously this time, it's actually going to lose the war. It will 100% lose the war because you have to remember, e-commerce play is local, like national play, but Web3 play is global. So wherever the talent builds, that particular center is going to become richer.
That's true. And I again like appreciate your views in this thing. Also, like you did a whole thing in your school, and after that when in college again, like was it difficult? Because your knowledge and your perspective is something which is very great. So sometimes in the college as well, people are not understanding our like classmates, I would say batchmates are like, what are you doing, yeah?
I was bullied a lot. It is like, and that is actually a good thing also about my life is that I got bullied a lot because of which I had very less friends. So what happened is that I have never, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do all of these things which my age people do. So my my entire life has been with very less interaction with friends. So the only friends thing I had was when I was working, as working or when I was like playing
with
football for.
with the other entrepreneurs.
Yeah. So like mostly it was always like that. My friendship and everything was always in the terms of when I was doing something. So I've been very lucky in that aspect that I could save a lot of time. The other people used to spend in like other things we got to do in school and college. I was reading books and I was interacting. I was on the computer all the time. I had to do a job as well. So I was to come back from school. I had to go to the cyber cafe to take care of it. So most of the time, so it was always like that. I was interacting with all the people who were coming there to work at that time. So I got a lot of knowledge about how these and then I understood the term of freelancing as well from there. So that was like my initial this. So most of my age was in the cyber cafe. So could not actually interact with friends as a whole. That is why I do not have a lot of school friends, school
Mhm.
college friends. Now I have a lot of few acquaintances I work together with. These are my very close friends. That's it. Like most of the time is there.
I understand that. So, with that note, I want to conclude this podcast with one very important question that you just mentioned that you took each and everything which happened wrongly in your life in a very positive manner. You were like, okay, if they are bullying, that's fine. It's helping me to invest my time in with the best people. How to have that positive attitude, because of this particular bully thing only, I have personally experienced that various developers, various entrepreneurs, the budding ones, they are like, okay, I just want to quit because I don't want to listen all these things from the people. So how to maintain this positive attitude?
I'll be very honest with you. I do not have, like, I have a very 50-50 outlook to life, very
Okay.
balanced, like, very neutral outlook when things happen. But for me, the situation was that I had nowhere to go. Even now, like, even I constantly, even that, I always in that mindset that there is no exit. I have to do this. If I have decided something like that, if there is no exit, I can't do anything. For example, permissionless as well. I'm so into this. We have so invested into this and everything like that. There is no exit. I have to make this successful. I have no other option. Same back then also. I knew that these people bully me, whatever, anything like that. I cried in school as well, like when I'm publicly cried. And came back home. I was like, I have to go to the cyber because I have to pay the bills, help parents. So no other options in life. So when you have that kind of situation, success is inevitable. That is what I like to say.
That's nice. I really like the way you explain it in a very nice manner. I'm pretty much sure that this podcast would be very much helpful for our viewers. And with that note, also I have added Roshan's socials in the description below. You can have a look into it. He's an amazing young entrepreneur. You would be very happy to have a connect with him over the LinkedIn and other socials and have a chit chat with him. With that note, thank you so much, Roshan, for joining in. It was really fabulous to have you for this podcast.
Thank you so much, Avi, for inviting me. It really meant a lot. Thank you for letting other people know our story as well. It means a lot.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for such an amazing podcast.